Okay, what we are going to do over here is we are going to mix charcoal and water, right? Generally, charcoal is not done on a rough sheet. Basically, a 300 GSM fully textured sheet is what we don't work on. But here we will work because we want it to be spread with water. And we want the little grainy texture and all to come in our flower, also with the soft texture. That's why we're going to use water. All right. So the drawing we did with soft charcoal, and we will begin also with soft charcoal. Now in this, we are going to also try a little bit of dry brush technique. Now when I say dry brush, meaning wherein we will not be dipping it in water completely. All right. So the brush will be dry and it will work like a blender for us. All right. So I will begin with these petals first, the top petals. So I'm going to start with my soft charcoal. I'm holding it here, not very much in front or behind. I'm holding it here. So we'll consider the light source to be somewhere from this side. So if the light source is coming from here, that means between the petals it will become dark, because the petals have to be popping up. First thing. Second thing, since the light source is here, so the bottom petals and all will become very bright and the top petals will become slightly dark compared to the bottom petals. So I'm going to begin from here. You all can, start shading with me. So I'm right now just going to shade here with soft but lightly. Do not apply too much pressure. Keep in mind that we are working on a textured paper. 300 GSM cold press textured paper is what we are working on. So the pencil may not move very smooth. So we may have to shade more than once in one particular place. So you might be getting like white patches like this, which is absolutely fine. Now from here, I will move little up. I'm keeping a rough paper so that the other part of the charcoal doesn't get messed up. Now I'm going to give the petal the shape of that it's folding. Like folding towards inside. Okay. Now I'm going to take a dry brush. I'm not going to dip it in water. You can take a flat brush. You can take a round brush. Both are fine. So I'm just going to take brush number 2 or 4. Any brush is fine. And I'm just going to bring the dust of my soft charcoal and blend. Now remember, while blending, you have to use the brush as if you are painting. So the direction has to be maintained. Because if your direction is not maintained, then your petal will start looking flat. I am not taking any extra dust from anywhere. I'm just using the dust which the pencil has left on the paper right now because of the texture and the grains on the paper. Now towards this side, I'm just going slightly round. This way, I'm trying to push the dust between those white patches while shading that we got. So I'm just going round. Now I'm going to take brush number 4 or 2, dip it in water Not too much water, just little water. And kind of cement the dust, as in like so that my dust doesn't move any further. So what did we do first? We first spread the entire dust with the help of a dry brush. Now we are just making the dust settle down and also trying to bring the smooth look on the petal. And my brush does not have too much of water. It just has water, sufficient water, like, because I'm not painting wet on wet or something like that. Wherever you feel that charcoal is becoming too much in your wet brush, immediately wash the brush. There. Again, move with the soft charcoal pencil. Same thing we continue with. But in this slight dark effect on the bottom side. Even though our light source is from here, but still, as it moves up, this part will become lighter because this is kind of folding in this way. Correct? Yeah. So that's why this part will become comparatively, relatively darker than this side. So the part which will become more dark, make sure you use soft charcoal to the maximum intensity of it. The saturation level should be slightly higher or slightly high. Okay, remember in the dry brush, since we have already removed a little bit dust on this, we blended the dust on the first petal. So the dry brush will have a little bit of dust present on the bristles at this point of time. So instead of directly using it on second petal, make sure you wipe it a little bit. Do not wet that brush because that's the dry brush. We don't want it to be wet. Okay. So I'm just gonna remove the excess dust from my brush and then start blending the petal. I'm again going to take brush number 2 or 4 with water. Try and avoid the white patch. Because if wet brush with charcoal dust goes on the white patch, then white patch will not exist. And once water is applied, we cannot erase. Remember that. See, here you can also use brush number 6 or 8, depending on the thickness of the petal or the width of the petal, size of the petal for that matter. Here with my wet brush, I'll try to give a little curvy look. So this is mainly working with charcoal dust. And spreading the charcoal dust the way we want it to move around. In this, I'm gonna again use soft charcoal pencil, but in the place where it is not. Okay. You have to just keep in mind that from here, the light source will be falling on the tip of the they just grow anywhere. Try and leave some white patches randomly in some places, especially towards the highlight area. Here I'm going to use brush number 12. because I want a bigger area to be covered at one go. And if you'll remember, like I've always said, the use of brush or the size of brush number totally depends on our own comfort. Like if I'm comfortable with brush number 8 and I can make thin lines and thick lines with that itself, so I should work with that. I'm moving to the next petal. I want to add a little bit of dark with charcoal on this, but as it's understood that it's really wet right now, you can see the shine on it. So obviously I will not touch my charcoal pencil at this point of time. So I'll move to the next petal so that I give time to this petal to dry. Now in this petal, as this petal is like really towards down, it's facing down. So I will be trying to get this portion as light as possible, and this portion will become mid-tone kind of a look. So if I go as per the value chart, then probably grid number 3 or 4 is what I will try to maintain. And 3 and 4 as per the charcoal, not as per graphite. So I'm turning every tip of the petals, like every point, because I want to show that it is kind of folding. And here I'm just gonna go maybe I'll just make a thick line kind of a look. That's it. See, we could have used blenders also, or like the paper stumps, the smudges. But I personally feel that in blenders and in smudges, what happens is that a lot of dust goes and sticks to the blender itself. And then it does not give, or it gives a too smooth a look. Whereas with the brush, what happens, it helps us spread the entire dust in a very evenly fashion. Okay, I'm going to use soft again for this petal, as I had mentioned that once it dries, I'm going to work on this. In this petal, I'm going to use my hard pencil, charcoal hard. Following till here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm using hard pencil in this. Once it dries, I'll use the soft pencil also. Now see, from this petal, I'll start going slightly, not slightly, rather, good amount of darkness.
Yeah, no, we can see it here.
Sorry. Yeah, so as I was saying that from this petal, I'll start going dark. Because it's absolutely opposite to my light source. So in this petal, I have used soft charcoal initially itself so dark that I don't think I need to use it again. So I'll just spread the dust and let water do its work. I'm not leaving any white space in these three petals. take my hard pencil and please take your soft charcoal and in this start making strokes from center. Okay, first stroke should be from inside. Okay, next one should be from little bit outside of it. So the strokes have to come on top of the petals. So the petals would appear that it is from behind, from underneath. Not behind, but underneath. Just with your dry brush, remove the excess dust and then just blow it. So we'll take your eraser and just make a small erasing in the center, like a dot. Okay. Now the step is to cover the background. Full use of soft. So take your soft pencil. Between the petals, try and make it as dark as possible. So you have to press your pencil. So it should appear like black. Do not take till the end because towards the end we will spread the dust with the help of brush.
Madam, middle of every petal?
Middle of every petal and on top of every petal. So it should cover the top so that even the top appears to be folding the look that we wanted. Like what I'm going to do here right now. Do not blow the dust. Let the dust be there because that is what is going to be spread with the help of brush. the best blending tool, which is the finger, your index finger. Because with finger you will be able to blend these. You will be able to blend these.
My finger feels weird. My friend is helping me learn keyboard.
Interesting.
Yeah. But we stopped since like the cases started rising, and then our mom is like allowed inside their house.
Yeah. There. This is your flower.
Oh, it seems funny.
Let's remove the masking tape. So this is how we complete. We use charcoal pencil with dry brush and with water brush. Okay? So practice as much as possible, as many kinds of objects possible, because practice is gonna help you guys improve more and more.